Our Black Friday 2018 coverage continues. In today's video, we've been taking a look at some of the best PlayStation 4 game deals across all of the retailers, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the best deals that you guys can get from Walmart. Now, honestly speaking, while Walmart is one of these retailers that's just known for Black Friday, I mean, you guys have probably seen all the memes, and usually Walmart is attached to it for having all of these great deals, but comparatively speaking to Best Buy, I would say that they're a bit lacking in terms of great PlayStation 4 game deals. Maybe they're rounding it out in other areas. However, there still are some good deals for you guys to take advantage of. Some of the deals are even better than the Best Buy offerings. However, I would say overall Best Buy does have Walmart beat out by quite a bit, so if you're picking one retailer to do all your shopping at, I would go to Best Buy. However, I know Walmart is a global retailer that a lot of you guys are going to shop at, so I thought let's take a look at the 10 best deals over there. This is across the entire catalog of games on sale across a wide array of prices, so let's get started. First up, a deal that crosses over from Best Buy and Walmart actually beats out Best Buy is Diablo 3 The Eternal Collection. It is going to be down to $17. This is a tremendous deal on Diablo 3, and the Eternal Collection includes all of the additional content, so if you're talking about just value-based gaming in terms of getting the most playtime out of your dollar, it doesn't get much better than this. At this point, I feel like Diablo 3 is an experience that the majority of you guys have played, but maybe some of you guys have played it on PC or you played it on the PlayStation 3 and you do want to get the definitive version on the PlayStation 4, at least the definitive version with all of the content. I know there's going to be arguments on the PC version being better. You guys get the idea. $17 for Diablo 3 Eternal Collection is tremendous, and I would highly recommend you to pick it up if you're into dungeon crawling RPGs. Next up, I want to give a mention to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition for $17. Now, yes, this is the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. It released originally 7 years ago. Maybe you're wondering, why is this even $17 still? Well, the Special Edition has actually held up in value quite a bit, so $17 for it isn't bad. This is the PlayStation 4 version of Skyrim. It does unfortunately run at 30 frames per second, which is kind of a head scratcher. However, what you get is still pretty good. Skyrim fundamentally is a very good game. The Special Edition includes all of the additional content, and if you want Skyrim on the PlayStation 4, this is a great way to get it. I'm sure the majority of you guys have played this as well. If for whatever reason you haven't, I would highly recommend it, and at $17, this is another game that's going to offer you a lot of content for your money. Let's just keep the content for your money theme going. Monster Hunter World will also be down to $17, and this is a crossover deal from Best Buy as well. However, Best Buy is going to have it for $20. So once again, one game Walmart does have Best Buy beaten out at, and at $17, Monster Hunter World is an incredible pickup. Really made the Monster Hunter franchise accessible to a much larger array of gamers. For a long time, this was a franchise that, yes, while those that played it absolutely loved it, it didn't have that global recognition that it does now, and that's thanks to the release of Monster Hunter World. How does it compare to other Monster Hunter games? Well, it is a little bit more accessible. It does lack a little bit of the depth, but don't get it twisted. This game is still very, very nuanced. There's a lot to do in it, and once again, you can spend a lot of time with it. $17 is a great buy with this. Another game that released early 2018, Dragon Ball FighterZ, will be down to $17. This is a great deal for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Recently, I do believe this game had its retail price marked down to $40, but still, you're saving over 50% on the game, and for a game that is still a relatively recent release, I would say that this is a real good buy. However, I do have an inclination that at some point there will be a Dragon Ball FighterZ Complete Edition release with all of the additional content and the downloadable content, so maybe that's something worth waiting on. However, $17 for the base game, that's so cheap already. Who knows what a hypothetical Complete Edition would even be priced at, so if you're eager to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, this is as good of a price as you're gonna find it for. Another game that'll be going on sale at a bunch of different places, however, Walmart seems to have the best price at $17. Next up, I do want to give a mention to Grand Theft Auto 5 for $17. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a funny game. This is a game that really stuck with its $60 retail price for a long time. That's the typical MO with Rockstar. They know how high valued their games are. They don't put them on sale very frequently, and it took a long time for GTA 5's MSRP to officially drop. It did drop earlier this year down to $29.99, right ahead of the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Probably not a coincidence. However, if you've yet to check out GTA 5, let's be honest, you probably played it on a platform or even two, but if you want to get the game on PlayStation 4 for $17, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is a great buy. The online component, yes, there is a relatively mixed reception to that. However, that does offer you an enormous amount of additional content. Overall, $17 for GTA 5, a packed experience well worth the price. Moving on from that, God of War will be down to $25. This is a regular price across just about every retailer. No one is dropping God of War to $20 flat, which is kind of unfortunate. You guys might be thinking that's me being a little bit of a penny pincher, but God of War did have its retail price marked down to $40, so I was hoping maybe one retailer would have a 50% off discount. That is not the case. I think everyone knows shows how highly valued God of War is, so they can absolutely get away with this $25 price point. God of War is a phenomenal game. I think the majority of gamers agree that it's the best PlayStation 4 exclusive thus far. I personally wouldn't. I do actually think Uncharted 4 and Marvel Spider-Man might be a little bit ahead, but it's a very, very close race between those three. I'm probably even in a little bit of a minority when I consider Spider-Man of that high regard. However, God of War is a tremendous game. Sony Santa Monica Studio really revitalized the franchise, and they started off with a great first chapter in the next story of Kratos. The game is tremendous from a storytelling standpoint. Content-wise, it's much more expansive than other God of War games, and just the tone and mood the game set is incredible. If you've yet to play it, you're really doing your PlayStation 4 a disservice. The PlayStation 4 was created to play games like this, and God of War for $25 is an absolute no-brainer. Next up, we have Borderlands The Handsome Collection, and that'll be down to $12. Now, Borderlands The Handsome Collection is a collection that goes on sale regularly. However, I think $12 is actually the cheapest price that it has ever been. You'll see it for like $15 at Best Buy, and if you are a GCU subscriber, then you get it for $12. However, a flat price of $12, I do believe this is the best price on the Handsome Collection ever. Typically on the PlayStation Store, it'll be like $19 or $20 on sale. So a significant savings over that, and of course this does include Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. A lot of the additional content is thrown in there as well, which means that you are getting a lot of hours of gameplay for your money. Yes, Borderlands is great as a cooperative experience, but I've been pretty vocal in talking about Borderlands being a high-quality single-player experience as well, so if you've never given Borderlands a chance, you should really remedy that ASAP. Of course, Borderlands 3 is in development right now. Borderlands 2 will be making the transition to PlayStation VR next month, so there's quite a bit of excitement surrounding Borderlands right now, and the Handsome Collection is a great way to get started on your journey in the franchise. Moving on from that, Soul Calibur 6 will be down to $35. I have to mention this because it is a very recent release, and it looks like no other retailer will be having Soul Calibur 6 at a cheaper price. $35 for a game that's not even a month old is absolutely great, and given the fact that this was a very well-reviewed fighting game, it's not like this is a game that did poorly and now they have to put it on sale rather quickly. It's just a great deal, and if you're into fighting games, you're gonna have a ton of fun with Soul Calibur 6. Of course, Geralt of Rivia makes a prominent appearance in the game. He's on the box art, of course. We know that Nier Automata's 2B will be making her presence felt in the game, and they also have an in-depth character creation system where you can create a bunch of characters, and we've seen some iconic characters created. So if you want a top-notch, high-quality fighting game, Soul Calibur 6 will definitely have you covered. $35 still steep, but again, it's a very recent release, so well worth it. Another very recent release and the best price I've seen for this game is Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which will be down to $39. Yes, this is a game that is going on sale at a bunch of different places. Target will be having it for $45, as will Best Buy, but at Walmart, it'll be a little bit cheaper at $39. Now, I do have to say, if you're an avid fan of Call of Duty, you've probably already picked up the game, and if you've already made up your mind that you're not into Call of Duty anymore, I don't think a price drop is really gonna win those gamers over. However, if you were on the fence a little bit, you're saving a third on Call of Duty Black Ops 4's retail price, and I think that's pretty good. So for $39, given the fact that it is such a recent release, and this is a game that commercially looks to have done really, really well, so I don't think Activision was all too incentivized on dropping the price. However, Walmart's got you covered, and it'll be $39, which I think is a solid pickup. And lastly, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, which will be down to $17. Resident Evil 7 for a long time held up in value, then it had its MSRP drop down to $30, but then it wouldn't go on sale all too often. Now we're at a point where the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition is down to $17, and that's a great price. This includes the base game as well as a bunch of additional content, so this is the definitive RE7 experience. And Resident Evil 7 as a whole is a very, very good survival horror game. A little bit of a change of pace compared to recent RE titles, especially with games like RE4, 5, and 6. However, that's not a bad thing at all. Resident Evil 7, unlike those previous RE titles, 4, 5, and 6, namely, really has that emphasis on those horror elements, so that's really good if you were into the older Resident Evil titles. And the Gold Edition, again, the definitive version, $17 is a great price for that. So that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I think Walmart has one of the weaker lineups out of all of the retailers for Black Friday. However, still some solid deals. I think that deal on Black Ops 4 is great if you are on the fence about it. $20 off on a game that was released that recently, and it did very well from a commercial standpoint. I think that's pretty good. Soul Calibur 6 is a great deal. Diablo 3, Monster Hunter World, Dragon Ball FighterZ, a lot of good options. However, the depth really isn't there for Walmart, and I think Best Buy really has Walmart beat out on the depth and the number of games they have on sale. So that's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more Black Friday videos.